Welcome back to another edition of the Ram Roundup. I'm Tommy Aldrich, alongside with me, as usual, head coach Bill Harris. Thank you, Coach. You guys have been busy since the last time we talked. You played 5 games, and you won 4 of them in a row. First of all, and perhaps most importantly, was a sort of a revenge game against Iona. How'd that feel? How great did that feel to go to their place and beat them in overtime, just like they came here and did to you?
Well, yeah, it was. It's always nice to get a win. I don't know if revenge is the right word, but it was a satisfying win. We had to play them on the road, and they're a very difficult team on the road at their pool. It's a smaller pool than ours, less wide and less deep. So it was a real team effort, but we were persistent. We kept going. We went to overtime and then sudden death, and not anything can happen in sudden death. But to walk out of there with a win and get 2 points for our conference, that was a big help.
And so this past weekend, 3 more victories for you, 3 games in 2 days. Assess your team's performance in such a quick succession of games.
Well, we had prepared by working hard in the beginning of the week, and then lightening up the load going into that. We had some rest in between because we had the 1 game with Salem on Friday night, and then we played, of course, GW, then Mercyhurst. But the guys really performed well. I mean, we stayed under control. We played a fine defensive game in all of them, and when you do that, you kind of save energy, and at the same time, you have ball control and time of possession. And it was a gratifying win. We also got a chance to see some more freshmen and sophomores get some playing time, which is a big help before we go into our conference championships.
And so last night, a nationally ranked team comes in.
Right.
You guys play a tough game with them. First of all, though, that game was senior night, and you honored 10 seniors leaving you, 9 of whom you had the opportunity to coach for 4 years. What was that like?
Well, it was bittersweet. All of these young men that came here, many of them from California, were high performers. They're going to be hard to replace. And, you have a great deal of affection for guys who worked that hard for you for 4 years. Would have liked to have gotten a win for them. Perhaps we'll see St. Francis down the line. But I was also proud of them. They've worked hard in school, and they have great careers ahead of them.
And so now, Coach, moving on to this weekend, you guys have 4 more games against 4 opponents who you've played before in the Northern Division. How big of a weekend is this for you in terms of where you're at this season and moving forward?
Our mantra is really take one game at a time. We go to Connecticut College on Friday night. We defeated them fairly handily the first time. I'm sure they've improved, so we have to be cautious. We can't take anything for granted. And then we face off with MIT. Last time we played them, it was close, and then we broke it open here at home. We're hoping to get another 2 points out of that. And then Harvard and Brown are on a different level. They're 2 top teams in the United States. I think 14 and 15 last time I checked. It's going to be a challenge, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. But at their pools, it's going to be a lot of work. But we're looking forward to the challenge.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined alongside here by Patrick Lenihan, who's a senior. Patrick, you guys really had a great weekend. 4 victories for you, starting off with last Tuesday, the Judge Cup victory against Iona. How awesome was it for you as a senior to sort of wrap up your career against Iona with such a great victory against them?
It was really awesome to bring that cup back home for us. I think it gave a great confidence booster for the guys, especially since we brought it home in 2012, and now we brought it home for our senior year. It was a great moment, especially coming back from a sudden death win. So especially losing here at the Mesmore Aquatic Center first.
So that was last Tuesday. This weekend, you guys won 3 straight. How awesome was that for your team to have such a successful weekend at this point in the season?
It was a great confidence booster. We got to get some work done. That's what we did. We improved, and we just nailed some of the things that we were working on for the past week. So, and that's going to roll over into our conference games coming up. So we're really excited for that.
And finally, Patrick, last night, a tough loss for you guys here. However, a special night for the seniors. How was the ceremony for you guys to be honored off here at the Mesmore Aquatic Center?
It was awesome. I mean, these guys are like my brothers, and it was great to have family and friends up in the stands cheering you on. Tough loss, some questionable calls, but even though that, we can't blame it on that. It's all on ourselves. So it was great, though, to have that ceremony for us.
Patrick, this upcoming weekend, 4 opponents that you've seen before in the Northern Division. What do you know from playing these guys before, and how can it help you win?
We've seen these guys quite a few times throughout the year. definitely with Con and MIT on Friday and Saturday, we're expecting a couple wins, and Brown and Harvard will be very good games, and we've seen these guys before. We know how they play. We've had a couple of close games with especially Brown. We only lost them by 1 or 2 goals, and we're expecting some fight out of them, and I'm very optimistic for our team.
Best of luck to you guys as you head into the weekend, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
That'll do it for another edition of the Ram Roundup. I'm Tommy Aldrich, and as usual, special thanks to head coach Bill Harris and senior Patrick Lenihan for being on the program with us. The Rams will close out their regular season this weekend with 4 games in 3 days. You can follow them at FordhamAthletics.com or on Twitter at FordhamRams. We'll see you guys next week for another edition of Ram Roundup as we close out the regular season and look forward to the postseason.